Hi, Todd Martin here with The Walking Code. In this video, I'm going to discuss how to change speed when you're walking. I decided to do this video when the other day I saw somebody outside walking for exercise. They were clearly outfitted in their exercise gear and they were walking in a very determined fashion, pitched forward and pushing back with each step, driving their weight through their heel as they went. And as they walked, I could just feel that force going up through their feet, knees, hips, and back. And ultimately, that type of force causes damage to the body. So I wanted to discuss with you how you can safely accelerate your speed so you can get more intensity when you walk, so it can be a really good exercise. And at the same time, I wanted to discuss how you can slow down your speed, because you might want to walk very slowly sometimes. You might be walking with an elderly relative that is very slow and you have to slow your speed down in order to keep up with them or for them to keep up with you. And that takes control of your walk. So that's what I want to discuss today. We've talked many times before about the use of the core when you walk. That's your chest rotation, your waist rotation, and your hip energy. One of Tai Chi's 13 essential principles is coordinating upper and lower. That is coordinating our chest and waist rotation with our hip action. Coordinating those is going to allow us to walk effectively and also be able to change tempo effectively. How fast we walk is going to be determined by each of the three components of our core. How fast we rotate our chest, how fast we rotate our pelvis with our lower abs, also tucking the pelvis at the same time, and how fast we use our hips. In general, with regular walking, we're going to be flexing our hips, and how fast we do that is going to determine how fast we walk. In order to walk effectively and be able to change tempos, we need to change the speed of each one of the three components of our core at the same time and in the same proportion. Let me walk a few steps for you and demonstrate very slowly as I go across the screen and then turn around and then walk back and gradually accelerate. And you can see how we are able to slowly change the speed. I'm going to begin walking very slow and controlled. Now I'm going to turn around and I'm going to gradually accelerate the body. When I accelerate, I do not need to pitch forward in order to increase the speed. That is the mistake many people make when they're trying to walk for exercise. They might be walking with good posture when they're walking normally, and as soon as they want to go faster, they start to pitch forward to try to drive back with the hip in order to increase the speed. Instead, what we want to do is increase the speed of our rotation. So if I back up, I can rotate very slowly, and if I want to increase the speed, I begin to rotate much faster. And I do that in a controlled fashion, proportionally increasing the speed of my chest rotation, the speed of my waist rotation, and my hip action. So how do we know we're doing it proportionally? This is a good experiment that you can try, or I'll just do it for you. If you don't do them proportionally, something very strange is going to happen, because you're going to see the effect of the rotation of whatever component you're doing too rapidly. You're going to see that amplified. So if I rotate my chest too quickly compared to my waist and my hips, what you're going to see is this. All of the excess speed gets transferred not to the forward movement, but to the rotational movement of the chest. And so you see this swirling of the chest, which is obviously very strange, and it would be pretty easy to avoid that. I don't see anybody walking down the street very often in that manner, so I presume nobody's actually making that type of mistake. The rotation of the chest when coordinated with your lower abdominal muscles that tuck the pelvis, create the forward motion of the body. If you rotate the pelvis out of proportion to the chest, so I rotate the pelvis using my lower abs faster than chest, what you're going to do is get this action. You're going to get the tucking action of the pelvis out of proportion to the forward rotational movement of the chest, and you're going to see the body pitch back. So you won't really even be able to take more than a couple steps that way before you just can't move forward anymore. So it's not really possible to accelerate faster by accelerating your waist out of proportion to your chest. So to repeat, if I accelerate my chest too fast, you're going to get this sort of action. If I accelerate my waist too fast, you're going to get that sort of action. When the waist and the chest move at the same speed, you're going to get a normal forward motion with vertical posture. I can do that slowly. I have a slow rotation of the chest and the waist, or I can have a faster rotation of the chest and the waist. The proportional movement is going to move me forward at the speed proportional to the speed of the chest and waist rotation. Likewise, the hips have to keep up with the chest and the waist. If I take my hip and as I'm lifting my hip forward, which is normally what happens when I walk, if I do that too quickly, what you're going to do is get this. My foot's going to lift off the ground and not support the body weight, and I won't be able to walk. Now, I've told you before that we don't need to push off your rear leg as you walk, but you do need the rear leg supporting your weight until all of your weight is on the front leg. So I am lifting my rear hip forward as I step, but I am required to have this weight somewhat on the ground until the flat foot is reached. Once the flat foot is reached, now all of my body weight is on my forward left foot and off of my rear foot. And now I could lift this off the ground and not fall over. But if my spine is back here and I try to lift this leg off the ground, I'm going to be taking off the support for the weight and I'll fall backwards. So therefore you really can't do that. And you can see that all of the three components naturally have to be coordinated in their speed, or you won't be able to walk and you won't be able to adjust your speed. So I'm not concerned that people are going to move their waist, chest, or hips out of proportion, because as you see, that really can't be done effectively. So the mistake that most people make when they walk faster is pitching forward, which means instead of rotating from my left side as I change weight, I'm going to rotate from my left side and add a rotation from my right side at the same time. That pitches the waist forward, pitches the whole body forward, and then it usually is accompanied by pushing off the back leg with the hip in order to accelerate the body. And then you end up with a hard hit on the heel. Let me back up. A hard hit on the heel, pitched over posture, pushing back with the hip extending off the ground, and then we keep walking forwards in that manner. And it might look very determined, it might look very aggressive and fast. You'll feel like you're really getting a workout, but you're really causing a lot of extra impact all the way up the body. You're having your spine misaligned, which is not good for the vertebrae and can cause back pain. And I'll just add here, this applies to all types of walking. We should not be pitched over. I've seen videos recently saying we should be pitching over when we're trying to climb upstairs, trying to add extra leverage for movement. We don't need leverage if we're moving properly. Spine vertical should be there at all times when we're moving. That is going to keep your spine in alignment and in good health for the long run over the course of your life. So practice changing your speed when you walk. Practice trying to walk very slowly, rotating very slowly. The slower you rotate, the more conscious you can begin to become of your movement. And then gradually increase the speed as you're moving, and you're going to feel that control as you begin to do that. You'll also feel that you do not need to pitch forward. As you begin to accelerate and decelerate, you'll feel where the energy is coming from in the core, all coordinated together to move effectively. So like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber, and click on the bell to get notifications for my future videos. Please leave a comment. That's really important to support this work. And thank you so much for watching.